Yo, what's up? My name is Alpha. I'm a hip-hop artist. Most of the music that I write is really about me. It's really personal. Music is what helped me heal. I was depressed for like 10 years, and music is really what helped me come out of it. The reason why I'm doing this Can I Be Vulnerable video is because I thought that I dealt with the big stuff, you know what I'm saying, as far as my depression was concerned. But there was a lot of underlying elements that I just didn't touch on. Like, I thought I was cool, and the fact that I work in mental health, I thought I could handle everything on my own, but I'm finding now even that there's a lot of stuff underneath that I haven't processed yet, and it's coming out in my actions and the things that I do and the way that I treat different people. So I really just wanted to come on here and talk about that. I really want to touch on and talk about just being vulnerable as a man in general.
Right.
Like, I didn't really see it growing up. Like I mentioned before, I struggled with perfection, trying to be a perfectionist, and I didn't have a role model for a long time.
Right.
And so I didn't feel like I had anybody to turn to learn how to be a man.
Yeah.
And so I'm figuring all of this stuff out on my own, and I'm just kind of going and moving,
Yeah.
and I'm making mistakes, and it's affecting other people, and I'm thinking I'm dealing with my depression, but I to an extent.
Kind
And I need to go to therapy, and that's something that I'm actually looking into now, is trying to find a therapist and finding the right therapist.
Yeah, because that's very important.
It's really important.
It's finding the correct therapist.
Yeah.
Just finding the wrong one can fuck you off even more.
Absolutely. So I'm more comfortable in my own skin now, but I definitely want to get to a place where I don't mind being myself all the time. I've actually reconnected with my dad, and we're having more conversations, and that's cool. That's really cool.
How is that, speaking to your father, knowing, have you guys spoken about the growing up?
Yeah.
The domestic violence thing? How was that conversation?
It was interesting because it was actually, a lot of it was in the music that I made. I put a lot of it in there.
Right.
About a lot of the hurt that I felt, just what I witnessed.
Right.
And he heard it, and he was angry, and I was like, "Look, man, you can't be mad at me for what I saw."
He's mad at you?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because it was like, man, he had to deal with it too.
Yeah.
And so he had gotten past what he had done, and he had forgiven himself. And so to hear it again, it was like, you bringing all of this old stuff back up. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm still dealing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Okay,
we had to sit down and have that conversation. And I'm also on the Art of Letting Go with a podcast with Mike Brown.
Yeah.
And me and him had a one-on-one interview on there, and we talked about it.
Oh shit.
On the podcast. Yeah.
Oh.
And we went through the whole thing and was like, nah, like, because he was, there was one part when he mentioned, like, these dads on TV, you think they're perfect, you got Uncle Phil, you got all of these people, and I was like, yeah, but you pop.
Yeah, they're not my father.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't mean nothing to me. Like,
right.
yeah, that's cool to see, but you pop.
You my dad.
You know what I'm saying? And so we got to have that conversation, and it was really healing for the both of us. Even going back and listening to that episode, and I mean, we could talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely open to talk about it because I've dealt with it at this point.
Right.
And I know that in talking to him, he got healing from it. I got healing from it because as a man, I can understand the certain thought processes that he was going through at the time.
Yeah.
Certain things that he didn't deal with when he was a kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Perpetuating a cycle.
Right. And so hearing that was like, okay, I get it. Like, as a grown man that has a wife, that's starting a family, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't excuse your behavior.
Not at all, yeah.
But I get it. And it really helped me process a lot and just help open up that relationship, because there was a huge chasm. And this is my stepfather.
Okay.
So, but he raised me since I was 2. And so I was like, me and him was like tight.
Yeah.
And then stuff just started to happen, and it started to break down. And eventually we got to the point where we weren't talking. And I thought me and him was going to have to come to blows.
Right.
And
sometimes you might have to throw hands with the old man.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Just what happens.
You
You might have to throw hands with the old dude.
We never got to that point. I thought we were getting there. We definitely got close.
Right.
But there was just some years that we just didn't talk.
Didn't speak it. It was just a conversation that needed to happen.
Yeah.
All right. So
for us to be able to move on. Like,
right.
If I love you, I can't just.
I got a challenge.
Yeah. I can't just have this facade of, oh yeah, father son, let's go get some barbecue. The conversation between the two of you changes after that. Because it's like, it's man to man talking now instead of
father son. It's father son, but it's my son is a man.
Yeah, and I respect you as a man.
Yes.
And I can listen to you as a man.
Exactly.
And so it definitely changes that dynamic.
Yeah.
And And I want to be able to create that conversation with other people, just in general, like I have an affinity for like young black men because
Right.
I was a young black man. And so I want to go back and talk to them. I want to, but I have to be in a place that's vulnerable enough that I can give what I need to give, but
Right.
also intelligent enough to not give too much too fast.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck
Like I need to tell you all that.
Yeah, my bad. Listen.
Right, my
Cut
bad,
that
G. Like, you ain't need to
disregard
hear
that.
that. You
You
went
don't
to
need
school
to
and you told the teacher something that you shouldn't have said. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you that. Like, so, it's just that delicate balance and just learning how to be a man on my own. That, like, you asked me earlier, what does it mean to be a man? And really, like, I have to, being comfortable with knowing that I might change 5 years from now. My thought process might change 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
kind of, you're supposed to.
right.
Are
But
we
being
not supposed
comfortable
to?
with that.
Yeah.
I think that I used to be so caught up in, like, the women.
Yeah.
And like proving myself and like, yeah, I got this, I got a car,
Boy.
I got that, you know what I'm saying?
Boy, yeah, bro.
And even in being married, and that cycle still being there,
Right.
because I'm still having conversations with single men,
Right.
and it's like, oh, your wife is bad, oh, she on you. I'm like, yeah, but I ain't tripping. I ain't even on her like that, bro. It
There's
ain't
still a
working.
little ego.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, just why? Like, why is that still there?
Is that like, she on you, but it's like, yeah, but I got my wife at home. But
Right.
is it, I'm not going to say ego boost, but is it cool? Like,
Oh yeah.
it feel good to know,
it does
like,
feel good, but the feeling is not. There's nothing wrong with the feeling.
right.
But there can be something wrong with the way you react to the feeling.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
what I'm saying?
Definitely,
Like
yeah.
if you carry that home and you on your, and that's where you get your, like, that's where you seek your affirmation from.
That's
That
what's
can be a problem.
wrong. I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but if you, okay, she finds me attractive, cool. I appreciate you.
feel
sister.
good about it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm
I'ma
still
keep it
attractive.
pushing. My wife definitely finds me attractive. So,
Right.
cool. I appreciate you, sister. Have a good one.
Right,
But if
right.
I'm like, she was on you, boy. Hey, you saw a girl?
You seen her though, right?
You tried to holler, but she was on me, though. Like, if it's all of that,
You doing
then
too much.
it's something different. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, you
right.
kind of gotta you gotta figure out what that is and why you're doing that.
Right,
And that's something that I had blocked for a really long time, and now, like I said, that pride started to rise up in me. And not to say that I wanted to do anything with any of these women.
Yeah, but-
I just let it carry me somewhere else because I wasn't depressed anymore.
Right.
So I received the information
Differently.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, I feel good about myself. Oh, you look good. Thank you.
Shit. I took a shower today.
I
baby.
knew I felt right. You know what I'm saying? I'm clean. I put some deodorant
Yeah,
on.
it's on my.
I got the Jergens. You feel me? So it's just a process, man, of really just learning who I am as a man and making a conscious effort to be that man every single day. Because the moment you take a break, all of it can fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every barrier you put up to protect yourself, all the talk that you've done about who you are and how you want to carry yourself, it can all go away in a day if you're not on guard.
Right.
And that's where, like, I have to be vulnerable enough within myself to share that and to say it to myself, like, in the mirror, like, hey, bro, are you good?
Get yourself, man.
Right.
Because you're wilding right now.
Right. So it's a journey.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to go on the journey. I'm glad that I've gotten to this place, but I know that I need other men, and I need to talk to somebody that knows
It's a group
certain
effort.
things. Yeah. If I can leave with anything, I believe it would be just to find yourself and be that 100%. Like, don't rely on what anybody else is doing. If somebody else has achieved more, if you're working in a certain field and forget all of that, man. Like, be yourself, trust yourself. If you have a higher power, turn to that. If you have a coping skill, turn to that. But believe in yourself wholeheartedly, and everything will be phenomenal.
There it is.